What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here once again. It's your Dortmund preview. A lot of injuries, a lot of ineligible players. We're going to try and, to be honest, I say it's going to be a hard predicted lineup, but it might be one of the easier ones because there's just not many players to pick from. But before we get into all of that, a few more updates regarding the Mathys Tel situation. Ed Aaron says that Tel is very surprised by Tottenham's decision to omit him from the Champions League squad for a second time this season. And Fabrizio Romano says that Mathys Tel and his camp are not happy at all with Thomas Frank's decision. And you know what? I do not blame them one bit. We already heard, even before this situation, that, they didn't think Tel was getting enough game time and he's open to loan moves. We heard Paris FC were lining up a loan move to take Mathys Tel over for the rest of the season. And since then, Mathys has pretty much started every single game and been, our best attacking player in that period. So I'm not surprised one bit that they are furious probably with this decision to take him out the Champions League squad. He would have been our second fit winger going into the game, with Odegaard being our only fit natural winger in the squad right now. So I think this decision is a bit of a disgrace. Solanke's not even fully fit to play. If Solanke was fit and on form, it is a harder decision to make and one I have a bit more sympathy with. But seeing as what we know with Solanke, only played half an hour against West Ham and he looked pretty poor in that half an hour, lacking legs, lacking any sort of intensity in his play. I just don't get the decision whatsoever, and I have a lot of sympathy with Mathys right now.
100%, and I think it's very harsh on Mathys to leave him out when he's been playing quite well in the past few games. He's also versatile, gives us a bit more flexibility in the front line if we want to switch things around. Solanke, he's going to start tomorrow, which we presume. Is he going to be fit enough to play 90 minutes? He only played 30 minutes a couple of days ago off the back of coming back from a 6-month injury. So, and he looks so rusty. He looked rusty as hell. So in what world does Frank think he's going to be able to play a big portion of the game tomorrow at any sort of level that we need? Tel's been the one trying to make things happen in the final third, and he's been the one who probably offers a bit more probably intensity right now. Maybe Solanke can give you something, but I can't see him lasting more than an hour. I'll be shocked if he's still on the pitch after an hour.
And you know what? If Solanke goes down injured in this game, I don't think we can swap it again for the last game, can we?
No, I don't think so, because they have to have been injured for 60 days. Yeah, so you can't swap it. It's absolute craziness. And when it comes to Tel's reaction, he obviously took it on the chin when it happened in September that he was left out, and he's knuckled down and fought his way into the team, albeit a lot of it's to do with injuries as well while he's playing. But I think he's fought his way into the team in terms of given his performances, and this is a bit of a slap in the face. So I do really feel for him, and I've seen a lot of people suggest, is it a forced move or is it a choice? I mean, given Frank's comments in the press conference, it definitely seems like a choice. He said it was between Mathys and Dom, and he chose Dom. So I think that puts that to bed. I definitely think he had the choice to keep Mathys in if he wanted to, and he decided not to. And I think he also goes on to say Mathys would have started if he was available. So that means that Dom's obviously definitely starting. And as I've said before, I've got a lot of reservations whether he can last the game, and that we're already basically going to have to plan for him to come off at some point, whereas Mathys maybe wouldn't have been the case. And he's talking about how we only have 11 players available. We're going to need to, every player is going to need to put a little bit extra in tomorrow, and we're going to have to find a bit more energy and intensity from somewhere. And it's like, well, why you bring a player who's half fit? Why is that your decision then? That makes no sense. Mathys, at least he's fully fit and he can run himself into the ground without a massive risk of pulling up again and also having more match fitness. So.
And you know what? That's on top of already Javi, who's playing through the pain in this game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we've got two players that are not going to be fully fit going into this game in the starting 11, which is just crazy talk. It really is crazy when you really deep it and when you really think about it. Like, first of all, Mathys can play both roles. He can play the 9 and the left winger. We've got Muani there. I know Muani hasn't been great, but his best performances have come in the Champions League, most notably the one against PSG. And we got Dane Scarlett there as well, who can come on and play a role in the number 9. So for me, the decision makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and I think it's brainless from Thomas Frank to do what he's done.
And as well, it's off the back of him being taken off against West Ham and that decision being booed as well. So, like, in terms of reading the room, understanding how that's going to be reacted to, also goes against him on that front as well. So, for me, it's a bad decision. Time will tell. The problem is like, to justify his decision, Solanke's going to have a good game. I'm not saying we have to win, but like Solanke's going to have to come in and play well. But it's hard for a fan to put that pressure on him to do that when we know he's half fit and he's just come back with a big injury. And he shouldn't really be starting tomorrow, if we're all being honest. He didn't look like he was ready to start on Saturday.
It's not even about him having a good game. It's about him showing that he can actually run for at least an hour. Like, he showed on the weekend he could barely run for 10 minutes when he was on the pitch. You know, it's just like he didn't look anywhere close to match fitness against West Ham. Nowhere close.
Yeah. And we'll see how it all plays out tomorrow. Frank's made the decision. He said it's nothing to do with Mathys, but he just wanted Dom in there. He said he feels like Dom offers more when it comes to lifting the team. He's a voice in the dressing room, all that kind of stuff, voice on the pitch. If things are going badly, Dom's one of the ones who can step up. Which I kind of get, you know, he's a senior member of the squad and a popular member and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, he seemed half fit, and unless that's proven wrong tomorrow, it's going to be seen as a bad decision.
Yeah. I just really hope he doesn't go down injured, Solanke, tomorrow, and that goes the same with Xavi Simons as well. You know, he's mentioned in the press conference Xavi Simons going to be playing through the pain, and he's made himself available, so, you know, big up to Xavi Simons, you know, willing to put his body on the line for the team. But we don't really have much options right now, unless you want to play Luca Williams-Barnett in the 10 or something like that. But it's another precarious situation that we have to manage through in this 90 minutes of football tomorrow. So, yeah, it's not great. We're going in there with 11 senior players, and 2 of them are half fit. So it's not great. And we've got one of the ones who's probably the top performer out of the last 3 games omitted from the squad. So it's just a crazy, crazy situation. And if you put yourself in Mathys's head, it's just like, what more do I need to do to prove my worth to this manager? Like, look, don't get me wrong, he's not like blowing people away and he's not like performing at a world-class level, but he's performing better than anyone else. That's the reality. So,
and considering how bad our attack has been, and looked, and he's the one actually showing a bit. I'm not saying as you say, he's not been world class, and he's not like he's been one of the best players in the league or anything like that. But he's in a forward line which is really struggling, and we're really struggling to get chances or anything. He's actually showing a bit of confidence. He's trying things. He's having shots. He scored a great goal against Bournemouth. He's taking people on, and it's not, some things are coming off and some things aren't. But that's more than a lot of what we've seen from a lot of other attackers so far.
Yeah, do you think there is any repercussions from this decision? Do you think Mathys now will look to push a move forward till the end of January?
I think he might look to. Whether he gets one or not, whether we allow him to go, is another question. Obviously, it depends on, do we get any serious moves in the market? It depends on Frank's future. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to how the pieces will fall into place. I would suspect he would stay. I think look, he's going to probably come in and start on Saturday, and maybe we'll have another good game. But I can understand his frustration. Who knows how long Thomas Frank is going to be here for? But at the moment, you know, looking at Frank's, demeanour and whatever, and he's had conversations with Vinay, maybe he's not as close to a sack as we think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what he said in the press, and it's just kind of, I think, what is always going to come out. It's always going to come out a kind of air of calm, and I'm the Tottenham manager. They've got full trust in me. I think that's what's always going to come out today. So I don't read too much into it. I don't think Frank is going to be here for that much longer, and maybe Tel will wait out to see what happens with that situation before pushing a move through. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But Tel is out the squad. Tel is obviously not happy about the situation, and that's all we can say on the matter right now. But let's move on to our